Well, there you go. See what I mean? Message came in that quick and just cut it off, and I wasn't expecting that at all. But I shut it off this time. There's not going to be 3 parts today. Part 1, part 2. You got Christ, and you have Muhammad. You have Christianity, and you have Islamics. And they're like a boil, a pimple, infected pus that, some energy is pressing it and it's oozing out, and these muzzleloids, because they can't be human beings, and they name them Muslims, and they're people that are very gentle. But why are they so gentle? Then you look at their past, not just their personal recent past, but the past of this religion, this thing that they're following that's being oozed out from Islamic, whatever. And it's like a thing of Jewish style that they came over in America, and they wanted a piece of the action, and the Southerners weren't going to have anything to do with it, and they used it was a sort of a banking system. It was crooked, it was devised, but the Southerners weren't stupid. They understood what it was, and it wasn't the Negro, but they used it as such, so either side didn't want to say on the other what it was all really meant for. It's just let the masses down here being ruled and thought controlled to believe in such a thing, and to get them to start to kill each other over it. And we'll see if you Southerners or us Jewish win, because if we win, we're coming over here in your country. And where'd the South go? So that tells you something. And then, like, these Muslims coming out, if you're not accepting them, with their pretense of the gentleness of it and the obedience of it, and that background that I was trying to get into is the difference between a Christian and the Islamic. Because, there has to be a source that it comes from. You just can't say just Muslims and whatever there are over there, It has a source, and there's Christianity, is with Christ and a belief in born again, and relieved of the tensions and the pains and the sorrows and the stupid shit that was done to us and the stupid shit that we did, and some of it, because the innocence of it and the pureness of it, it wasn't like that at all, It was in another sense, feeling, touching, tasting, you just can't have with anyone. And that doesn't mean that couldn't happen, but it's just when that special moment is there, the special kind, that energy that you blend with, and it's so beautiful, and it's just you play with it, because what do you dare do to expand with it? That's what's most important, and to finding that's surreal. Wow. Christian, forgiven. It opens these doors, this enlightenment, and it's a freedom. Enlightenment is a freedom. It's like you're held down and you're, whatever, and then there's like a nudge, and there's something, and it's like, if you can perceive it, you can understand it, and you can take it into yourself, and it's like the will of the Father from heaven. It's a feeling, it's a thoughts. That's what makes it real inside the human beings. And this is the things I'm saying. It's not ever been done, not ever been tried, because I think that is what they're truly afraid of. And this understanding comes in this world of the Father and His thoughts, and you grow in enlightenment. But you can't keep on the same kind of a trail that you're on, because sometimes you get led off to other places because of distractions. And that's what this government is here. It's just a world of distractions, to intercede, to throw things here and there, to deceive you, That's what it's about, to keep us away from this feeling, this creation that we're all a part of, It has to be like that. I'm not, put here and made by something alien, because if that ever be, as in anything that grows through evolution, we evolve and we become enlightened, and all that crap is just shed off, and they understand the DNA, the soul that we have inside of us, and that's what we all want to come into your life. And if it comes into your life like that, you want to keep that. You don't want to let that go, but it'll leave. It just goes. Whoo, it just goes. But you felt it. Your breath. And it just fills you up from your inside. It just fills you up. And you don't even know what's going on. But then you start to feeling this. And what do you do with this? It's so brilliant. And it's just so wonderful. And you just don't ever want it to stop. It's like the most perfect thing there is. And I don't want to come out of it. But then when I go out into the world, and I talk to people, and they're just covered about things and hovered about things and restricted about things and can't talk about things, and see this feeling that I have, this it's a kind of brilliance of a light, from the will of the Father coming down to be on earth like it is in heaven as it is written. I'm not making this up. And everyone could let this in. And that's Christ. That's what He tried to do. He tried to open up this light that people can see. But there was only just so many that actually understood. Some used it and abused it to probably make themselves some wealth, Well, that's just too bad, because that comes out and then they're all done for. Too bad. Just the way it is. But this beauty that could spread out and be into everyone. And then when I go out into the world and I see, how you are there, But I never really reveal anything about myself, because, I know that the deals and the wheels and the roll and that go on and the dealings, you're just not, you're not being honest. You're not being honest. And that's why I have to be honest and reveal what I'm saying now. But, I can only go so far with it, because then it gets to be like what, And you try to touch people, but that's why a vid, you can see a vid and bring it would shed some light of understanding. It's like this is. It's a light of understanding. Involvement. Enlightenment. Yeah, it'd be like that. Wouldn't that be great? And what would that do? To spread, to be the first time ever that this wave just went around the world and the people could all feel that. It's like that thing What do I do with it? I wrote the other day. Well, I write quite a few things actually, and my comments, criticisms on things and such, and trying to fix things up. And it comes to be like, think of, have a thought of God, the heavenly creator of all, and think softly along these truths, and loving us all the way the most loving father, mother ever created could. And now look at us. Are we acting in this mode, gift of grace, of freedom God has handed to us, and to spread His love of feeling good, letting inside, so that the entire population of human beings, ones that have never taken the life of another fellow human being, will begin to feel a Father, the Creator Father, in love with us, the all He created. Now you are in God's mode. You're welcome. It's just clear. It's quiet. Any situation met, at the door or even going outside, well, it's taken care of. And just relax. Just be yourself. But not be a drunk. Not be like addicted. Cigarettes is an addiction. Alcohol drinking, that's an addiction. And those things are poison. They poison your mind. You're poisoning your bodies. And it just takes you out of control where you don't even know what you're doing. But you think you do. And the things that you think you do or are controlling can only be of an evil nature. And that's against the rules to bring this about for every human being. And that's like the ones that have killed, and the reason at the moment when you killed, what was that? Was that what brought that on? At that moment when you succeeded in your thought of killing that person. That tells you right there your future. Sharing in this love of the will, and this glorious, this brightest feeling, thought, energy coming right on earth. And it's like that in heaven. Why wouldn't you want that on earth? On anybody, any of these creatures out here that want to bring death and destruction, they are not of that body. They're not the same. They are, they're alien to the Heavenly Father. And, those guys, I think that, I should give it a try. And I read that Bible where it talks about the sins are forgiven because of what Christ gave to us, to the whole world. Has opened a level of understanding, of enlightenment that never got a grasp and never got a hold because the ruling, controlling governments held it down, and has kept this world a mass in this confusion, diversionary tactics that keeps us from this feeling from the Lord. And that's real. Imagine this out and everyone touching. this understanding and having that feeling, that emotion, that freedom, where everything is just real and there's nothing wrong. And if you've had those kind of things and you're doing things wrong, you just drop them. It's a change. It's a rebirth. It's being born again. And those things will come back and they will just kind of touch you and want to try to drag and distract you off. Well, you know, that was wrong. And you know you're on a path of the better. And it's toward enlightenment of the Heavenly Father, our Creator God, the Creator of all. He has DNA in us. He was given to us. It's part of it, of His creation. It's like comes just talking clear back to the beginnings of the very moment of beginning. The Creator, Father of all. Beyond that, what would you call that? What would be the point of to call that? Except this Father, the Creator, gave us life to be like-minded and to be and act as in holy fashion and get out on the roads, especially in the towns in this Phoenix. There's no patience. People have been driven here a long time, they've gone through so much and driving every day around here and all this different kind of traffic. It's not like in your hometown where you become used to the flow of how it moves and everybody's pretty much the same, you know. Well, you bring that over down here in Phoenix and you're riding around and then you got these people coming up, blowing their horns at you, shaking their fists, giving you the finger and just start to cuss out the windows and, you know, then there's a road rage, you know. Because, you know, I come from these soft, easy places, but don't buddy fuck with my time, bitch, you know. And then, you know, that comes out. And then there's some of that rage and this soft, easy stuff. You don't, I've never lost. Nope. I was thinking that one time I had a knife pulled on me and I just, you know, what can you do with that kind of a fool on this motorcycle? And I just wanted to see what his problem was, you know. And I scared him. He was really scared. And he whipped out, he was yelling stuff and he whipped, and I come over to get closer to him, you know. Well, you know, we do something about this. And he whoosh, whips out this big old Bowie knife, you know. And I don't think he really ever meant to use it, but you know, geez, I didn't want to get hacked up, you know. I mean, that blood is oozing out. I've seen that in bones out of my body, and that's not very pretty, you know. Yeah, it freaking hurts. You know, frick it, man. You know, it's just, yeah, get back in the car. I just freaking left, you know. And it was really not just traffic dumb shit, you know. But that's what you lose here. People, you lose your patience. And then it turns into whatever it is here, you know. So we need that kind of, that feeling, that mood. It's out there beyond the cities. It's just in a city just kind of burns it up. So how would we bring this about? Because the cities are made to make, you know, produce and product and to grow into something. And, you know, what's that growing into? What is it growing into? That's really important. Because, you know, it's all taken away from the Christ life of born again and respect and understanding and forgiveness. And not just to be selfish with ourselves, but to spread it out. And it should go into the world. And that's just why I'm saying this. You know, it's like a star. It's like that shooting. It's like returning of something coming around. And it just spreads out and sheds out and gives all the electromagnetic energy and thoughts and love and just hope and just see how many can reach out and understand and contact with that and feel it and make it grow within themselves for their understanding, and they can pass that on. And it was just a like of understanding of the whole thing. No matter how it's stated, it all comes to that one point of our creation and our destination. To become as holy men and holy women, raising holy children on this earth. And we can do it, and we can work and live in peace. Things need to be just slowed down. And there's no reason in the world why you just can't give it a chance, because you must. All debts are forgiven. Because it's been said of trillions and trillions, hundreds of trillions. Then there's no need for this debt. Because there's a point maximus to reach, and then, all must surrender. All debts must be forgiven. It has to be announced over the entire world, in every country, in every language. All debts are forgiven. There's no more in the red. It's all right there on that balanced line. With whatever you have right now is, it's what you've got. And from here, you can gain more. But it's a natural flow. It's not to be greedy. It just comes however looked at it may be. But it all comes and it touches everyone. Just like, like that song Oklahoma. I really like that song. It's a pretty cool song, I was thinking of that verse about the coverage, and it's, try to think of the melody. My wife can go, bam, she could snap a melody out just like, I'm like, God. I don't know how she does that, But, but I'm thinking of the words, though, it's like, and try to put it in a voice, a song, a singing voice. I just don't, I never really made a contact with a thing like that, because I was busy just trying to talk without stuttering. The breeze is so busy it don't miss a tree. And it's like that energy, those thoughts. It's so busy, it doesn't, and those feelings, that luck and that warmth, it just doesn't miss a human being, Oh, the sounds of the earth are like music. The sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy it don't miss a tree. And the old weeping willow is laughing at me. That just really stuck with me. I love that song, And it's, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a wonderful day, Everything's going, and heavenly, holy women and men feeling. Surrounding everyone like it's never been tried before. And I'm just saying, why not? Now, they didn't take too long to say all that, did they? It's just so much, Gotta slow down. We're moving way too fast. And you gotta give the Lord some feeling. If you wanna get the feeling, you gotta slow down. Imagine if you all just let it be. It was 1:15, so peace out. Give it a thought. let it be. Peace out.